Hey everybody, welcome back to Caroline's Closet. This is the final breakdown of what I was supposed to receive on my Via Trading pallets and what I did receive and what I expect to make. This is now Thursday, May 2nd, so the pallets arrived last Tuesday morning. It's been a week and a day essentially that I've had them. Everything is processed now and listed except for the yoga mats because they don't fit in any of the boxes that I have available. I want to make sure I have an acceptable means of shipping them before I list them and they start to sell, because I hate when something sells and I have to rush around like crazy trying to find an appropriate box for them. So those aren't listed yet, and the clothes are the other thing that's not listed yet. So I did a little vlogging as I finished the processing. I'm going to throw that in and then we will get right down to the numbers. Alright, I'm going to do a little vlog style updates as I go through some of the bigger stuff on these pallets. This is the towel warmer that was a not manifested item, so it was kind of a surprise, and it all appears to be in excellent condition. It doesn't appear to be used. I don't know. The plug is definitely unwrapped and maybe it was tested or tried out. But these are going new for around $450, and there's not many of them on the market. According to Amazon, they're ranked really well. So hopefully, I'm going to sell mine as used but in excellent condition. The box is badly dinged up in several places, but inside it looked good. So this is going to amount to about 1/10 of my total pallet purchase right here. So I am very happy with this. I haven't decided if I'm going to just sell it on my own or send it into Amazon. If I sell it on my own, I think I put for like $420. My Amazon fees would be $63, and then I pay to ship it to the customer and pack it and everything. If I send it into FBA, my fees including the FBA only goes up by about $22. So plus whatever I pay to ship it to them. So really it seems like it might be worth it, even though it's large and bulky, as long as it doesn't sit too long causing storage fees for me to send it to them. But right now I have it listed as customer fulfilled, just to see if somebody buys it before I start packaging my FBA stuff up. As for all of these soda streams, I have 17 total that are in boxes, and then 2 that are just the units and no box. I've started opening a few of the boxes, and what I'm finding is that they are either missing the CO2 or they are missing the water or soda bottle that came with them, or some of them are missing both. So I still have a whole bunch to go through and open up. But even with the 2 items missing, it looks like I'll be able to get between $40 and $60 each for these. So I am okay with that. And of the ones I've opened so far, cosmetically inside, they appear to be in excellent condition. So I finally pulled all of the yoga mats out. I am not able to list them on Amazon, but not because of the brand, because I don't have clearance in sporting goods. So I can't list any of this yoga stuff on Amazon, but it does seem to be doing really well, and even the yoga mats should go really well on eBay for close to retail value. So that's good. But underneath all of them, I had seen these yoga towels down at the bottom of the box, but I couldn't get to them through the yoga mats. But when I pulled everything out, I found all of these shirts layering the bottom. They're all the same. There's 15 shirts. They're all Karen Scott, extra small all the way up to extra large. $9.98 retail price. It looks like a Dollar General, everyday value, Dollar General type tag. So 15 of these with a $10 retail. I have yet to count everything that I got, so I don't know if these are bonus or if they're included in the 195 home good items, but I also had the other 11 pieces of clothing. At least those were slightly higher value clothing and nicer, but these are just t-shirts, and I'm sure they will sell over time and probably put them up at like $6.99 each or something. Somebody will buy them. But yeah, so I have 26 total pieces of clothing in my home goods palette so far. Okay, it is now Thursday afternoon. I'm getting today's shipments out the door, and I have my first two sales from my pallets. This Nespresso milk frother sold for $76.67 on Amazon, and that includes the shipping, and it was brand new, untouched inside the box. And I think I may have been the only one with one listed, so I didn't know exactly how to price it. I could be wrong. That could be something else I'm thinking of. But so $76.67 on that, and that includes the shipping. And then this Poppin', it's just a pink hanging file box. It was labeled $24.99. It sold also on Amazon for $26.67. But again, that does include the shipping on it. And mine was priced lower than anybody else. I just couldn't bring myself to go up much higher than the ticket price for a plastic file box. But I'm happy that it sold and for over retail value. So 2 items gone. I have made some progress. I've cleared my floor. I can see it again. I have stacked everything with its like items. I have gone through a few more of the SodaStream machines. Luckily, I've only found one so far that doesn't have the actual soda bottle, mixer bottle in it, but none of them have the CO2 canisters that I've come across yet. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe they weren't returned without the CO2 canisters. Maybe Macy's or Via Trading or somebody just removes them for safety, because you're not really supposed to ship them or anything. But I know they do ground freight, so not sure it would matter. But yeah, so they're all missing, so far all missing the CO2, and only one was missing the actual bottle, so that's good. These little skateboards I just got listed. I can't find anything like them, so I'm hoping that I can maybe get 20-30 bucks for them, but I'm gonna be happy if they all go for like 10 bucks, because I have 22 of them and just not sure how popular a skateboard amplifier is. But that's where we're at. I'm gonna get my packages out. These were my only 2 Amazon sales, but at least they were from pallet items. I have a couple for eBay and Poshmark to get out, and yeah, I'm trying not to ignore everything else I have going on. So I did spend a few hours this morning listing on Poshmark and eBay, just getting some purses and some clothes listed that needed to get up. And I've got about 300 old comic books to go through. So after I get my shipments out, I'm going to spend about an hour going through those old comic books, and then I will start up again on pallet merchandise tomorrow morning. Alright guys, so here are the final numbers. I was supposed to receive, between the 2 separate pallets, 377 total items. I received 410 total items. So I did end up with, 33 items over the estimate that they provided. And there were 26 items of clothing. So I'm kind of guessing that random clothing box and those $15 general pieces of clothing that were thrown in the bottom of the yoga box, I'm guessing those were just random throw-ins and not even supposed to be on the pallet, and that makes up for the most of my overage. But at least I know that I didn't really pay for those in the price that I was paying for everything. So 410 total items. Out of those 410 total items, there are 21 that were just scrap, garbage, could not do anything with them, either completely broken, shattered, not just missing a piece, but just unsellable, not even donatable condition. So those got scrapped. And then there's, I think it's about, I should have counted, I've got a box of about 20 maybe items that are gonna go to the thrift store. They are some water bottles that just had like dings and dents in them, but somebody might still want because they're a cute design. Somebody might pay $1 for them, but it's not something that I could put on eBay and sell plus shipping. So little things like that, some really dirty, junky stuff. So there are some items going to the thrift store. Everything else I think is sellable. A lot of it was in, a lot of the boxes were in awful condition. The boxes are garbage, trashed. But luckily, like the Dyson, it was mint in the box. There was nothing wrong with it. Everything was perfect. But that box looked like it had been ran over by a bus. So, but everything else was in okay, reasonable condition. There were a few things that I had to mention were missing items or that had minor cosmetic flaws, but I could at least sell the items. So, my total, like I said, I got 410 total items, and selling out of those 410 total items, I have, I'm gonna guess about 20 there, so 42, 368 total items sold. And as I went through and listed them, I just wrote everything down, how many I had of it, what I expect to get for each one, and the total. So I expect to bring home, in the end, $5,848 for everything once it's all sold. Now my expense was $3,353.79. So my total profit when everything goes will be approximately $2,494.21, which is not doubling my money. My goal, if you remember, was to double my money within 3 months, and I assumed that I would be able to do that plus have a little residual coming in after the fact. Well, what it looks like now is that I'm probably going to make back my money, maybe plus $500 or $600 in that first 3 months, and then the residual income will add up over time to that $2,494 profit. The problem is all of those items, like the 73 binoculars, 73 pairs of binoculars, I'm probably only going to sell maybe one a week. And that's if I want to auction them off super cheap. I'm guessing I'll sell a lot of them around Christmas time. Maybe I'll get some for Father's Day sales. Maybe over the summer when people are doing their sporting events, I might get a little peek in binocular sales. But items like that, 2 years from today, I guarantee I'll probably still have at least a pair of binoculars sitting, waiting for somebody to buy it. So those are just slow sellers. The money is there. The money will eventually come in. But selling off 73 of anything seems to take a lot of time. So I've got those. I've got 22 skateboard amplifiers. Who knows how fast or how well they'll sell. I've got all sorts of acrylic picture frames, acrylic coasters, a lot of random stuff that I did not expect in a HomeGoods. Like, binoculars are not HomeGoods. That should be in a sporting pallet or something. But those were actually the best condition items on that pallet. So a lot of the profit from these 2 pallets will slowly trickle in. And so I am a little disappointed. I'm not going to get my fast turnaround that I hoped. But then I have to look at it this way. In a typical week leading up to doing this liquidation, I listed between $600 and $800 worth of profit every week. Maybe $1,000 if I got lucky and had some good things. But I was listing a lot of $5 here, $10 here, small profit items. So for 1 week's listing, I worked on it for less than a week because I also mixed in some other activities during that week. So for 1 week's worth of work, essentially 1 week's listing, I have $2,494.21 profit, which is almost quadruple the amount of profit that I list in a typical week. So in that aspect, I can't be too disappointed. The money's coming in. The problem is I don't normally spend $3,400 to make that much money. So disappointed, yes. My biggest disappointment is in the first pallet, the one that was half manifested, because it said salvage on the outside of the pallet, and the listing on Via Trading did not indicate that it was salvage goods. And so I was expecting, yes, that some items may be junk, and that some customer returns, unexpected, you never know what you're gonna get. But for them to write out salvage on the side of the pallet as if, they know it's trash and not indicate that anywhere on the listing, I am a little disappointed with that. And I'm a little disappointed with the fact that all of the unmanifested items, despite them saying that it's because there's no way to determine the value or no scannable UPCs or no boxes, whatever the case may be, so they don't add them to the manifest. I was expecting a lot of out of the box maybe items that were similar to the items on the manifest. None of the unmanifested items were anything like the actual appliances, small appliances and things of that nature that were on the manifest. Everything that wasn't on the manifest was completely different, tiny little flasks, and almost all of it had perfectly scannable UPC labels, and a lot of it had the retail prices right on there. So because of that, I feel like those should have been a separate line item on the manifests. If I had seen that there were 73 pairs of binoculars that were retail at $29.99, I probably wouldn't have picked that pallet because I didn't want 73 pairs of binoculars. And because the retail value of $29.99 was less than the estimated retail value of $52. So for the estimated retail, I went through almost everything I could find the initial retail. Some of them I had to guess based on what things are selling for now, and I just added up, like the towel warmer. I'm gonna probably get $400 for the towel warmer. I couldn't find the original retail on it. I put it down as a $599 original retail. $600 seems like a pretty even number for it. So some things were guesswork, but most of them had the retail value on it. So I added up the retail value for everything that was not manifested on each pallet, and then I divided by how many unmanifested items I should have had. So I'd already taken out all the stuff that I had trashed and thrown in my thrift store pile, but I still added that number of items into my calculation so that it would be fairly accurate. So for the first pallet, the one that was half manifested, it indicated that all of the unmanifested items would be an average or estimated retail value of $52 each. The average actual retail value for all of the unmanifested items on that pallet was $28.02. $28.02. And then for the second pallet, it estimated a $52 also retail value, so I assumed that it was all from the same bunch of stuff, similar items. It was only 4% manifested, so 96% of this pallet was unmanifested goods that I was expecting an average of about $52 retail. The average on it was $32.62. So $20 off on that one, $24 off on the other one. That would have made a significant difference in the price of the pallet and whether or not I wanted to assume the risk, because $30 average retail, when you assume that you might only get half of retail on several items, puts them at low value items that I wouldn't want to pay $5, $10 for. $52 retail that I could get $25 for, even if I sold them at only half the retail. I'd be willing to pay, you know, maybe $10 an item for it. So there is a different mindset in my mind based on the value of the items. If I had paid full price for either of these pallets, I would be really disappointed. But they were old pallets, they had been sitting for a long time, they were down to 20% off when I got them, and then I got an additional 5% off of that. So I would have paid almost $1,000 more than what I paid if they hadn't been on sale, which means I would only be getting about $1,500 profit instead of almost $2,500 profit, and I would be pretty disappointed in this lot of goods for only $1,500 profit. So that's my feedback. That is my update on my value trading pallets. And really, I can't be upset because they are unmanifested and they make no guarantees about their unmanifested pallets. I just feel like with the stuff that was in there and the obvious labels and pricing and UPCs, they should have been fully manifested. There's no reason that most of this stuff wouldn't be. Now all the yoga stuff, that shouldn't be on a home goods pallet. That'd probably be on a sporting goods pallet. But that stuff's probably some of the better items I had on that second pallet. So I am not too disappointed with those. My only disappointment with the yoga merchandise is that if I could sell it on Amazon, I could make more money on it. And I can't sell sporting goods on Amazon, so I have to do it on eBay and Mercari. And my profit margin's a little lower selling on either of those sites. So there you go. That being said, I have my next pallet selected as soon as I have the money, and as soon as I think that there looks like a clear week of no rain ahead, because if I have to unload them outside, I want to make sure they're not going to arrive on a thunderstorm day. But I do have pallets selected, so if they are still available once I have the money to go buy them, I will be ordering 3 more. These 3 are fully manifested, and I was kind of mixed because I liked the unmanifested items were in such better condition. They were all like shelf pulls and brand new off the shelf, good condition, sellable items. So I really liked my unmanifested items condition far better than the manifested items condition. But the value was so low. So these pallets, but the manifested items, even though they weren't in the best condition, they still held a value to be able to profit off of everything. So these pallets are all manifested, but if they're salvage and they don't indicate salvage on them, I have no way of knowing that until they arrive. And also there's very few duplicates on these 3 pallets that would come. So as opposed to everything I listed this week where I got almost all of it up very quickly because there were a lot of duplicates, the next 3 pallets, if I get the ones I've been looking at, there are very few duplicates. So I think there were 240 or 252 or somewhere around there total items. So it was less total items than what I had on these, but almost every single one was different. So that would make quite a time to get it all listed. We'll see. But anyway, let me know what you think about these pallets. I am a little disappointed, but I knew the risk I was taking, and I had fun doing it, and I will still make a decent amount of money, just not as fast as I had hoped. And yeah, stay tuned because I will give an update in probably 2 weeks with everything that has sold so far and how much I have back in my pocket from these pallets, and hopefully around that same time I will have new pallets coming and show them off as well. Bye guys.